Stream. Alrighty, how's everybody doing? Can you hear me? Um, Alrighty, that seems to be good. You will notice I'm drawing in a different program today. With the new system update, Medibang now works with my Huion tablet, so they fixed that. I'm just gonna start off here with Sir Kunamat's OC Nathaniel since I had that pulled up, but first let's take a look at the to-do list. It's still really big, but we're gonna get there. I plan to knock out Nathaniel, Lupus Argent, and Leo Rex, and then a couple others here. And I think I actually forgot to open the other one I wanted to do today, but I will do that in between streams since I plan to spend time on it. If we can power through all 4 of these this afternoon, that'd be great. So without further ado, let's get started. I'll set my brush to about a 10. No, I'm on watercolor. I will switch over to my pen then. Size 10. So yeah, how's everyone doing today? Everybody doing good? I forgot to set up my phone to read the chat, so periodically I will be checking in between the line art, and I guess I'll just go over time a little bit today. Correction is not making me lag like it usually does. But I'm just gonna chalk that up to Medibang being the superior program. That is actually by design. It's by the same developers as Fire Alpaca, so Fire Alpaca, I feel like, is where they test all their ideas to see what really works, and then once it's been polished there, they incorporate it here. Which is a pretty decent strategy to have. Okay, I did not want to do whatever I just did, so I'm just gonna... Okay, all my windows are open. I need to hit my paint bucket, reference layer. Did not want to expand that much. I forgot Medibang does not have a limit on how much you can expand when you fill something in. Like I said, it's just a little more robust than Fire Alpaca. Well, a little more robust. It's a lot more robust. It is probably the closest thing I've used to Photoshop so far, but minus all the frustration that Photoshop had for me anyway. So, take that how you will. Autodesk Sketchbook is also free, but I need to practice in it a little bit more since it's designed to feel very similar to working traditionally. So, there aren't really too many guides that it does. Like, it doesn't do this whole correction thing. At least if it does, I haven't found it yet. So, I still need to play around with it just a little bit more. But it does have French curves, which is a very useful tool. So I'm just gonna swap over to the chat and see what everybody's doing. Yay, I'm loud and clear. That's good. It's fine to keep your laptop on mute, not that you'll hear this. But, yeah, let's get back to work. So this drawing should be fairly simple. Also, I don't remember if I posted the sketch on Patreon. I probably didn't, but that's because I sketched it literally an hour before this. So I'm just really not with it today. But I will fix that in the coming weeks. So yeah, I'm just gonna mostly hand it over to Sir Kunamet to talk about this character, and I'm just gonna draw. So yeah. That does not look great. Once I finish this line art, I'm gonna go and see what's up in chat again. Okay, this is not what I wanted to do in the least. Oh, there we go. Let's try it this time. There we go. So now I can just check the chat and then I will color pick and see what's going on. I remember that now. I think I forgot to add it to the list, but I'll add it to the list as soon as the stream is over. The Anne meets Star-Lord request. That is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to reset my reference. So yeah, now we can color this guy in. Let's see if I guess the other thing I can say about this program is that if you started on Fire Alpaca, this is super easy to learn. And the files are cross-compatible, so if you have something that you originally did on Fire Alpaca, you can just open up the file in this and keep working on it, but with a few more tools. So, I do recommend it. Again, it's free. You kind of have to make an account, but that is to encourage their community feature, which apparently allows for collaboration. Not in the same way that, like, you can't work on multiple canvases at once, but you can, like, if you have someone who's really good at inking and someone who's really good at sketching, the person who's really good at sketching can start a project and send it over to the inker, and then if they find someone who's good with colors, they send it off to that person. And it's just a whole lot easier than sending emails back and forth. Especially since some of these files can get pretty big. So I'm just gonna go up here and add a highlight to his eye. And some highlights to this eye patch. And I'm just gonna save it and see where we are. It's okay. I don't know what it is. I'm having a pretty off day too. So I forgot to check the time. It is okay, we're doing good. We're all right. So I'm just gonna bring this back down to a 10. This is one of Aqua's requests, one that I actually remembered to put on the list. And this is Claire's and Jason's forms in the Miraculous Ladybug universe. They are Lupus Argent, I have no idea how to pronounce that, and Leo Rex. And I worked a little bit with both her and Dino, or Fantasysaurus on YouTube, about I worked with them both with regards to these designs. So I'm excited to play around with some stuff. This one might take 20 minutes, but I guess I can fudge Heroic Sunny Jim's request a little, just since both of those characters are really hard to keep on model while staying stylistically correct. So I'm okay with fudging that one a little bit. Alright. So there's Claire's face. Because she's based on a wolf, she has wolf ears, which are a little bit fuzzy. I feel like the only person here who hasn't seen Miraculous Ladybug is Sir Kunamet. Possibly if there's more people watching, I don't know. So anyway, it's a good show, but most of you already know that. I have to say my favorite episodes are now Animan and, well, Mr. Pigeon, first of all, then Animan, and then Zombie Zoo. Top 3 favorite Akumas. I'm sorry, there's just something about the silliness of Mr. Pigeon that it's so funny. How could you not like Mr. Pigeon? Well, I know how you can not like Mr. Pigeon, but at the same time, he's just one of my favorites, you know? But Zombie Zoo had an excellent design, and I'm probably going to replace my letter Z with her. Just because I really like the design they went with her. Kind of like a pastel goth look. I don't know, there's something about pastel goth I really find interesting, stylistically speaking. Okay, that's actually fabric, so I need to make that a little more clear. But like the Zombie Zoo episode was just, it was also a really good take on the whole zombie tropes and stuff. So yeah, if you like zombie stuff, that might be a good episode to start out with. Because I don't think you need too much information about the series in general to watch that episode without having seen anything previously. So, I might recommend Zombie Zoo as a starter episode, if you want to see some of the best the show has to offer. Now, if you just want to see silliness, Mr. Pigeon is a really good starter episode, too. Animan would be one of my favorites, but, let's be real here, there is exactly one reason why I like that episode, and that reason is Ladybug jumping into a T-Rex's mouth to pry it open with a car jack. So, yeah. I'm just gonna finish the line art here on Claire, and then I'm gonna check the chat and see what you guys are saying. Because, I don't know, you might be really disagreeing with me, like, what are you thinking? And I don't know what I'm thinking at any given time, so, what's, those of you who have seen Miraculous, what are your favorite Akumas? Or if they're not your favorite Akumas, your favorite episodes? Because I feel like we've already talked about this, but it's alright to talk about it again, I think. I'm just giving a slight heel on that, not because it's practical or anything, but just because I feel like it ties the look together a little bit better. And I guess my justification for it is that most animated series give Batman a heel, so Which is a lame justification, I know, but still. Just gotta draw this leg. And then I'll check the chat and see what's going on. So yeah, I'm just gonna zoom out here and see what's going on over here. Let's see. Hey Gravity, and also hey Finley, first time here? I'm happy to have you here. I hope you enjoy yourself. I'm gonna get back to work. This show is just, so silly though. And I feel like there's really a place for silliness. And I'm gonna give Leo Rex a little bit of a heal here. I did draw him this way because it reminded me of some of the scenes that would be in the show. And I did base his suit pretty heavily off of Cat Noir's, which is entirely the wrong way to pronounce anything. But, well, it's how they pronounce it in the English dub of the show, so I'll go with that excuse. It's not really an excuse. I just don't speak French. But yeah, one thing I will say about all the shows I recommend is that, just because I recommend the show does not mean that I endorse anything that the fandom is or is not doing. Most of the shows I like have pretty toxic fandoms, so I mostly just curate my experience. I don't really try to follow anybody or anything, and I tend to stay pretty divorced from fandom drama. Just because I don't see too much point in actually taking part in it, you know? I'm just there for the show. Would it be spoilers to talk about the reveal in the latest episode of Steven Universe? I don't watch Steven Universe, but, I heard about that reveal, so I imagine most people who do already know. So without naming it, what's your opinion on it? Having never seen an episode of the show, I think it's a pretty cool twist. But also having never seen an episode of the show, I'm not sure how out of left field it is. Like, everything I know about this show is what I've learned through more or less osmosis. So, I don't know, it sounds like a good idea to me. Just not seeing it in context. But, what do people who watch the show think? I will check with you guys after I finish this line art. And if you don't believe I flipped the canvas all the way around getting this sketch down, you would be highly, highly mistaken. So I meant to draw his eyes kind of surprised, but I think this actually works better. I don't know. I could be wrong. I usually am. But that's okay, probably. Let's see, he's got his chin here, and if I make too much definition in the wrong places, he'll start to look like Chase, which I don't really want. Although I did come up with a semi-miraculous character, and his name was Vareo. And I don't know, I feel like Chase could work as an alter ego for him. I'd have to talk to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd have to talk to the guy who came up with Chase first before I go drawing Chase as Vareo, so. But Vareos are little green and white songbirds. Specifically, I based them on the white-eyed Vareo. And they are indigenous to my little corner of the globe here in the American Southeast. And I haven't actually noticed too many of them around here, but they're really cute if you read up about them. Like a lot of birds, they're monogamous. And yeah, I went down a rabbit hole looking for a songbird to base my miraculous character on. So, yeah, that's how I know so much about these things. Not that I can be entirely sure that my information is accurate. But they are really cute. I recommend looking up white-eyed Vareos if you like cute things. So, yeah, once I finish this, I'm just gonna check in chat, but first I have to finish this. This is a very bad representation of a roof. Pretty sure it would drive a contractor out of their mind. But it is what it is. I'm just gonna take a look in chat. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, you can say what's happening. In the fandom and stuff. I remember actually when the theory about this reveal first came out. Why do I have both layers selected? What is this doing? Okay, I'm just gonna go up here and what? I'm just gonna try clicking with my normal mouse. There we go. Alright, so hopefully this line art is closed in. If it is, great. If it isn't, that's not what I wanted to do, computer. I'm just gonna Okay, so there's only one bit of line art that isn't closed and I can fix that. Alright, this will have to do. So first things first, I am not going to finish this off with Iggy Azalea's Fancy, even though that is now stuck in my head and there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm just going to make a new layer and round out this selection a little bit more and open up some pictures of these characters. Okay, somewhere in here I have one that I did. Huh. That's interesting. I'll just use this one. So let's start off with Claire. Just because her color scheme is kind of tricky for me, but that is okay. Alright, that's all of her normal skin tone and stuff. I'm just gonna zoom in. And I should have downloaded a picture of a wolf so I could actually look at the markings I'd be representing. But this is very stylized, so I don't feel too bad about going with a very dark gray to start. And really I should put lines around all of these, but I don't feel like it. So there's that. And then I'm gonna pick a very light gray. And I'm gonna bring my expand all the way down to 1. And I forgot, my system completely updated, so now I have to go in and fix all of my keybinds and stuff because I had it set up really nicely for so that I had one button for my eraser and one button no, I had it set up so that right-clicking with this thing would bring up my color select, and now it brings up the eraser, and I have to use the other mouse button to do that, even though it's not ergonomically good for me. So, there we go. And those are about the 3 colors I'm going to be using throughout the suit. So I'm just gonna open this up a little bit and fill that in with this light color. And then I will gradient that later if I have time. I don't know if I'm gonna have time though. So let's start out by doing the gloves and boots in darker colors. Or should I make them lighter? I don't know. But I'm gonna make the belt darker. then this is going to be this very light color. Same here. And this can be my mid-tone for the entire suit. So then I'm going to take my light color, if I can just select the right button, and I'm going to draw a little pattern along here to give it some interest. And then I'm going to line it with the darker color. There we go. It's not pretty, but it'll do. And then, I don't know, I'm thinking about adding some slashes on the very bottom of her hands and feet, but for now, I'm going to completely deselect her and just work on Leo for a little bit. So for Jason, we're going to use this base color for his hair. And I actually think I'm going to use this color again throughout his suit. So I'm just going to keep it selected. I think it would make some very nice details. Probably also a good base for that fur ruffle. So I'm just going to use this dark color for the slashes I put across his gloves and boots. There we go. And I might use it for his belt later, but I'm not sure. So question, does his Miraculous change his eye color like Cat Noir's does, or does it kind of stay the same? Let's see, we're gonna use just kind of a goldish color. If I have time later, I will make that look more metallic. For the suit. And then we'll take a cream color for the base, or for these parts of the suit. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, I'm just rambling. That color versus this color. The contrast this color gives, but it looks kind of off. What do you guys think? Okay. Alrighty, I'll just wait for that. Actually, let me write that out in the chat. And I'll come back to that after I do some line art for this. And I have a reference all the way in here. Somewhere. I've downloaded a lot of references lately. There we go. So yeah, this is the same as this guy's last request, but with different characters. Misato and this kid, whose name I don't know, as mother and son. I guess it's a thing. It seems harmless enough. Famous last words. But anyway, let's just bring this up. I think I can get away with using nearly a 15 for this. And these references are kind of smushed, so really I'm only using them for coloring. Which is kind of a bad idea because they're under entirely different lights, and that's gonna mess up the colors. Alright, so give a smile here. I can't really say much about this one, but I'm just gonna fudge it a little bit because we are down to 15 minutes. And I don't particularly want to spend 15 minutes doing this one, and I can at least start on the next one, which frankly is a request I've been more excited to do. Though Mother's Day is coming up, anybody got any plans? I'm still refining mine, and since it's a surprise, I'm not gonna mention it on the internet too much besides saying that I'm crocheting it. And I had shown it to her, and she really liked it. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish it up and give it to her. I'm probably also gonna bake something. If I can shell out enough money to get another 2 pounds of cheese, I might make my cheese bread. The original recipe that I got from Arthur Flour cheese bread, by the way, calls for cheese powder. Almost like the mixture that you use in box macaroni. But I don't have any of that. Because it's supremely unappetizing for me. So I just stuffed the loaf with 2 pounds of cheese. Which is a lot of cheese, so I don't make it that often. Let's see. This is actually a turtleneck she's wearing, so I'm just gonna dash that in real quick. Soon as this line art's done, and I might leave it as line art, just because I really want to get a move on here. I don't know, impatience is how art turns out bad, so maybe I should take a deep breath and just finish this and then see what's in chat. Which I wouldn't have to hurry up and finish this to do if I had just set up my phone so that I could read the chat as it happened. But I've been a little bit off today. Let's see. I did a really dumb thing this week. I had switched out the bulb in my secondary light source because I was using it for my black light, just so that I could control where the black light was a little bit better, because it's easier than screwing the black light bulb into my ceiling fan. And safer because my black light is a CFL and not an LED. I don't even know if it's I think it would be possible to make an LED blacklight. I'll have to Google it later. But I'm not even sure if LED blacklights are a thing. But I threw out the wrong light bulb because I had a tungsten LED or a tungsten-like LED that had sort of burned out and had turned itself into a strobe light, I guess. So, I meant to throw that one out. I threw out my daylight. And then I emptied my bedroom trash. And then I took out the house trash. And now it is gone forever. So, I feel pretty bad about that. I'm just gonna do flat color here. Just to save time. I think I can actually, I don't know, I have to do something different with his hair. That works. But yeah, I'm not very happy about that. But it is what it is. I can't go get it, so. Alright, and then let's see, his jacket is kind of yellow, so I'll just do that. And then his sleeves are kind of a greenish color. I have no idea who did the color design for this kid. I get the feeling this is like Mars Moms or something. I don't know. That's all I can really think of looking at the design. And I drew her with a pixie cut instead of long hair. Oh well. It's okay. That's alright. I think I will have the miraculous change Leo Rex's eye color. I didn't mean to do that. It looked kind of cool, but not quite what I was going for. So I'm just going to use this as a base. And then I'm going to do this around the bottom of his eyes. And then this as a tear stripe. Because surprisingly, all cats have those. Lions included. And then I think I'm going to give him golden eyes, like a lion. But I might go lighter and more intense with it. I don't know, I might just have to shade it, in which case I'm not entirely sure that's what I should do. Yeah, I can't make that work, so I'm just going to pull up Jason's normal eye color. It's in here somewhere. This'll do. And I had meant to add a gradient to his hair, but I'm just not gonna do that. Just to save time. And then I'm just gonna make sure that this layer is filled in. I need like a brick red. Zoom out a little. There we go. And then like a tan color-ish for the roof. And the cement color for that. And I'll just fill in her belt buckle. Like so. Alright, so I can save this. If it'll let me zoom out. Save. And I'm just gonna get started on this because we've got 8 minutes left. And this was Dino's request. He asked me to draw baby Claire with her mom and dad. And I found this pose reference from a self-help book. And I thought it was a really cute pose. It looked lively enough that I was happy to use it, but it was also contained enough that it had the right feeling. The only drawback was that when I resized it, I had to be pretty careful because there was a giant book title in the middle of it that I had to draw around. But it worked, and I'm pretty happy with it. So, these are based on the designs that Dino did of Claire's parents for Musical May, and so far I like how this came out. I'm not 100% sure if it'll stay looking good once I finish it, because, you know, sometimes you finish something and it just ruins. It, but I'm gonna try to make sure that it continues to look good even once it's done. And if I run out of time while I'm doing this, I'll just finish it up during the next stream. Oh yeah, that reminds me, it is starting to be bee and wasp season here. So, I think there's like still a wasp nest outside my bedroom window. It's a pretty good break-in deterrent though. Nobody wants to mess with a wasp's nest. So, the only drawback is I can't open my window and air the place out, because I don't think I have a screen that keeps them out. But that's okay. So here's a little baby Claire. I tried really hard to make her look extra cute. Especially because I'm not really that good at drawing babies. I just try not to make them look like the creepy babies you see in pre-Renaissance art. When they kind of just looked like old people, but small. But that's just what happens sometimes, so. There we go. I think she's turning out really cute so far, but before I get to the baby carrier, which is probably going to take me a while, I'm gonna flip back over to chat and see what you guys are doing. But yeah, I thought this picture was super cute. It was really close to a tie between three. There was one that was kind of lifeless, but it looked like it would be the easiest to draw. And then there was another one that carried about the same mood as this, but it looked like it would be harder to draw. So I'm glad we landed on this one, because it's not taking nearly as long as I thought it would. And we still have 3 minutes left. So I'm just gonna zoom out a little bit and draw the shoulder of this shirt. And then I'm gonna see what's up in chat. Alright, so I'm just gonna zoom out and see what's going on. I'm giving her mother her violet eyes, but that's just for now. Let's see. I'm glad you like it. Pre-Renaissance babies are hilarious. Just so much weirdness. But yeah. Let's see. And then we've got chubby little baby fingers, which are unreasonably hard to draw sometimes. Alright, so there's the start of the baby carrier. Actually, instead of just assuming which parent gave her her purple eyes, I'm going to draw her mother's eyes closed. So that fixes my problem entirely. Hooray for laziness. Alright, there's her little arm. I did manage to hang a clock up on my wall so that I can see the time a little bit more easily, both from here and across the room. So that should be really helpful. In fact, according to that clock, it's 3 o'clock right now. So it's about time for me to sign off. I will continue this request next time. And I'll see you guys again in about 3 hours. So thank you for tuning in. Have a nice rest of the day. I will see you later. Bye. That looks better. I can those and never come back. Very nice. Hi, Josh. Fajitas.